I'm Joshua Hanlon here in Copenhagen, Denmark, and behind me is the incredible Rosenborg Palace. This palace was built in the early 1600s by King Christian IV. King Christian IV is one of the most famous Danish kings for a number of reasons. His many wars with Sweden, who Denmark was at war with continually for many years, as well as many of the great building projects he did throughout the city of Copenhagen. If you walk around the city, a lot of the buildings are from the time period of King Christian IV. So he's a very famous king, and he built this palace as kind of a pleasure palace. But then in the early 1700s, it kind of became out of use, and so it turned into almost basically a museum for all of the incredible objects that the royalty here in Denmark had collected. Some of the many great objects that are on display are from the time period of Frederick III, which was King Christian IV's son, and he started what was known as absolutism here in Denmark, which is when the kings had basically absolute power. And so because of that, there's incredible shows of wealth inside Rosenborg Palace due to the fact that the kings had absolute power and could put all this on display for other rulers and other people to see how powerful and wealthy they were. There are several floors to the palace. I think my personal favorite was the top floor, which had the Grand Hall, which has these incredible depictions of some of the most famous battles against the Swedes, as well as some incredible thrones and artwork throughout it. Then in the basement is what the palace is probably most known for, which is the crown jewels, the royal Danish crown jewels. And so that's some incredible jewelry, and the crowns themselves are on display in the basement. A few travel tips when you visit here: make sure to pick up one of these really nice English guides, because there's not really any text telling you what's going on in the palace, so you need one of these that goes floor by floor and explains what rooms you're going through and things like that. I believe it was about 110 Danish crowns for an adult to enter and 70 for a student, to kind of give you an idea of a price at the current rate of exchange. I think that's about roughly almost $20 for an adult to get in. And I think it is worth it, even though it's a little on the expensive side. There's incredible stuff to see in here, and you can spend at least 2 to 3 hours checking everything out. And there's some really nice gardens and outdoor stuff as well. So if you're in Copenhagen, I would encourage you to check out this palace. And if you do, you can actually get a combination ticket with Amalienborg Palace, which is the palace that kind of took over in the 1800s after this one went out of use. And so if you go to that one as well, there's a combination ticket you can get. You can kind of see the whole line of kings from the very beginning and see how the royalty played out here in Denmark. So I definitely encourage you to check that palace out as well. Both of them are well worth visiting. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoy your trip to Denmark.